Hello again. After I spoke this morning about the interracial and homosexual kiss on Doctor Who recently, somebody pointed out that it was also an interspecies kiss because the two people involved came from different planets and cultures. Another first for the BBC. Needless to say, there were those who suggested that I was expressing disapproval of the business, but that's absolute nonsense. One of those who is obsessed with this channel edited the Rational Wiki page about me last month so that it now reads, Webb dislikes interracial relationships between black men and white women. I do not dislike such relationships at all and have never said anything of the kind. What I have said is that there is more to such relationships than meets the eye, and that depicting them has now become a kind of visual shorthand to show that a certain product, film or television programme is very up to date and modern. I might add that I had a black girlfriend many years ago, an Igbo woman, and that I was engaged for 2 years to an Indian in the 1970s. I have not now, and never have had, any objection at all to such relationships. However, I do not think that this kind of thing is portrayed accurately and fairly on television and in films in two important ways. Although there are more such relationships than there was once the case, most so-called interethnic relationships are not between black people and white. They're between white people and other white people. Let me quote from the census. The most common interethnic relationship was between other white and white British. Other white is made up of numerous groups, a large proportion including Polish, other Western European and numerous others. Other white is the second largest group in England and Wales. So when you see statistics suggesting that interethnic relationships are on the increase, or there's a big percentage of them, usually they're talking about relationships between white people and other white people, not between white people and black people at all. The default setting, though, for the depiction of interracial relationships in visual media is not between two white people of different nationalities, but between a black person and a white one. This is deceptive. Such relationships are not common even today. That's one point. The second is that when black people and white are shown as couples, the unspoken assumption is that they are an ordinary couple who have got together because love is blind, particularly colourblind. This is very often not the case at all. Some black men prefer to have white girlfriends, and some white women prefer to have black boyfriends. This is not a case of love being colourblind at all. It's often a crucial factor in the pairing. There are various reasons for this, and we see the same thing not only in Britain but other countries as well. And not just between white people and black. You see the same thing in Israel between Muslims and Jews. I'll come back to that in a moment. It is usually women from the majority population who pick up with a man who is from a different ethnic group, a member of a minority. So in Britain, mixed-race couples are far more likely, if they involve black people and white, to consist of a white woman and a black man, rather than a black woman and a white man, which is quite an unusual pairing. I think most viewers will be aware that it's unusual to see a black woman with a white boyfriend. Then there too, ethnicity plays a part. I've known white men who have had a succession of black girlfriends, and I've known Indian women who seem to wish to pick up with members of ethnic groups other than their own. For example, a friend of mine, a Gujarati Hindu, told me the very sad story of her sister. She started going out with a Pakistani Muslim, to her family's dismay. It really wasn't the thing for a Hindu to pick up with a Muslim in this way, and her father was horrified. The couple broke up, and she then started going out with a Jamaican guy. Her father literally had a heart attack when he heard about this, and he died soon afterward, which the family blamed on his daughter going out with a black man. Clearly, something other than love was motivating these relationships. I dare say that viewers will know of similar cases where, say, a white girl had a string of black boyfriends or Asians or something. I'm not saying at all that there is anything wrong in black people and white going out together or marrying, or indeed white people and Asians, or Asian people and black people. What I am saying is that firstly, it's not as common as television would have us believe, and secondly, that in the real world, when such things happen in Britain, a lot of the time there is more than just the random workings of love at play. Often, it's part of a long-standing pattern of behaviour, so that if a white girl goes out with a black guy and they break up, it may well be that she'll choose another black boyfriend. This is not wrong, and nor do I disapprove. I am simply pointing out the fact. As I say, you see the same pattern in other countries. In Israel, where Jews are the majority, interethnic relationships usually consist of a Jewish girl going out with a Muslim boy, rather than a Muslim girl with a Jewish guy. Any serious attempt to explore the dynamics of interethnic relationships in Britain in the course of a television play or something, a dramatisation, would be very interesting, rather than merely pretending that it's all down to colourblind love.